Hello, beautiful people. It's your boy PC Dre, aka the Lyrical Ancestor, and I am standing in for Writamatiks. Now, there is a disturbing information that is out there. It has to do with Russia and Ukraine. Uh, one of Russia's top uh, uh, officials, his name is Vyacheslav Volodin, has come out to warn that if the West dares to supply Ukraine with nuclear missiles, that the whole of Europe will disappear. Yeah, this is a very disturbing warning, you know, because people fear that this Russia Ukraine war would just amount to, you know, the Third World War. And then a lot of people believe that the Third World War would not be fought with just guns, bombs, rocket launchers, and all of that. No, people believe that the Third World War would be fought with nuclear weapons, and Russia happens to be one of the countries that has the highest number of nuclear warheads. It is very disturbing ever since this their problem with Ukraine start. Russia has been making a lot of threats, and we've seen what they've done in Ukraine. I don't know how their problem started, but what I do know is that a sovereign nation has right to identify with any organization as long as the organization is not a terrorist organization. So why do we have to, you know, in the 21st century, why do we have to try to, be slave masters to some countries, all in the name of you being a world power and the country being a lesser, power? For those of us who don't know, Ukraine and Russia has a long history and they share a common boundary. They they've had conflicts in the past, but this is a new one. In 2014, they had a conflict which resulted to Russia taking some parts of Ukraine, Crimea. It was annexed by Russia. Now they are having another issue with the Donbass region and the rest of it, and then it has extended to the whole of Ukraine. And now Russia, you know, invaded Ukraine. I don't know. There are a lot of school of thoughts who think Russia is not the aggressor, and then a lot of school of thoughts who think Ukraine is not the aggressor. But why don't we check it out this way? Ukraine is not Russia, and then Russia is not Ukraine. Ukraine decided that they want to frolic or they want to be part of an organization like such as NATO. And Russia says no. If you become a member of NATO, it will undermine our security. But well, everybody has a right to say what they want to say, but then can't that be discussed? Why would that amount to war? And don't forget, Ukraine is not yet a member of NATO. So what is the problem? There of course, some school of thought thinks that this is not just about Ukraine, that there is more to it. They think uh, it is about the Soviet Union. They believe that Vladimir Putin is just using Ukraine as a scapegoat, or like what do I say? just wanted to get Ukraine out of the way, but there's a bigger plan. They believe that it is not just about Ukraine. After Ukraine, it has to touch down on other Soviet Union countries, the smaller chunks of countries. But Russia has not found it easy because they didn't believe that Ukraine would put up a fight and hold them down till this very day. I think Putin must have thought that by now they have taken over Ukraine. Probably the president would have fled and all that. But Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, did not flee. In fact, he turned down the request for the United States to evacuate him. And he told the USA, he told Ukraine, and what Nigerians would say, we die here. But now, this war has affected the world in general because it has affected the price of petroleum products, prices of food, and some other items. Russia, with all the restrictions placed on Russia, the bans, the financial restraints, placed on Russia, it is affecting the world, affecting the economy of the world. But then, what next? With this fresh threat, what next? They have threatened Sweden and Finland not to join NATO, and that if they join NATO, that they will attack Finland and Sweden. Now, Sweden and Finland are stepping up their plans to be members of NATO. So, what would happen? That's the question, if they join NATO. I also heard that Russia is still having some, diplomatic problems with Turkey over Turkey's decision to create a buffer zone in the Syrian border so that they will evacuate, take immigrants from Syria, refugees from Syria, and relocate them there. But this did not go well with the Syrian government, al-Assad, and of course with Russia. So you see, Russia is having problems here and there and all that. And then with this, they are threatening that if Ukraine gets a nuclear missile supply, that they will make Europe disappear. That's a big threat. Now you are threatening the smaller countries with nuclear weapons, and then you are still saying that they should not be supplied to. I don't understand. Maybe it's the devil that is whispering to the ears of Vladimir Putin. But Mr. Putin, be careful. What more can we say? We are Africans. Consign us. But be careful. Do you remember? Now, this is to Vladimir Putin. Do you remember a certain Nazi? Adolf Hitler. Probably you are somewhat related to him. Not by blood anyway, but by reasoning. But if you remember that man's story, he rose and then he fell. Power intoxicates. But when you crave it for far too long, it will crush you. Thank you very much. And may Third World War never happen to us. God bless you.